So far, if you followed these tutorials, you'll have a game that has a background, that has a score, and that has an actor that moves around at random, speeding up every time you click it by 5%, and it gives you 10 points in your score every time you click it. Now, we have lions, we need tigers and bears. Just like we were able to copy a behavior earlier, we can also copy a prototype actor by holding down the Option key on the Macintosh keyboard and dragging it. And so we've copied everything about that lion. So now we can make that lion a tiger. So I'm going to change it to tiger. And I want to change the picture. So click on Images and find the picture of the cartoon tiger. And we want to change the sound that tiger makes. So if we double click that, we can go into the behavior that makes the sound and say instead of playing the lion, we're going to play the cat's meow. What else can we change about this? Let's make this this tiger give you 5 points instead of 10 points. The idea here is we're going to make the tiger move half as fast as the lion, so it's only worth half as many points. At this part where it says spawn actor, right now if I were to click the tiger, it would start a new lion. And that's not what we want. Instead of starting a new lion, we want the tiger to start a new tiger. So we're going to change that to tiger. And now, if we want to make the tiger move half as fast, then we would delay for twice as long. So we can use our expression builder and say we're going to delay twice as long as the other character before we move on. And that should be all we need. Maybe a little bit of change in the size of this character. Looking at this 130 and 90, that's like 200 and 300. What if we make it 40 by 60? 40 by 60. Right? Let's go back home. Let's look at our scene with the game. And let's add a tiger in and see if that tiger looks right. Looks good enough to me. It's kind of hard to see on that background maybe. Let's hit play and see what happens. I'm expecting the tiger to move half as often as the lion. And that's what I'm seeing here. And if I click the tiger, I should get 5 points. And if I click the lion, I should get 10 points. Notice that when I click them both, they both play. That's going to come in later when we talk about clicking the background. A click on any actor clicks on all the actors below it in the same direction. So if I had 3 actors on top of each other, that click will be transferred down to them all. So now we have lions and tigers. Let's get bear. Editing our game screen. We're going to copy the tiger. Use your Option and drag. And let's then change the name of it to bear. We can drag the teddy bear on top of it. Double click it and change its properties. The first thing we looked at earlier was the size of it. This is 300 by 300, so we can probably make that 60 by 60. And that would be a good size for our bear. And remember, powers of 2, so if we do 64 by 64, that's actually going to make the game much more efficient. Now, what are the rules here? When it's touched, we need to make the teddy bear sound. And I'm actually going to make the teddy bear an actor that is an actor you don't want to touch. And so we're going to make that a minus 5 points. So it's going to take away points. Still going to slow us down, and when we touch the teddy bear, we're going to spawn another bear. And let's say that the teddy bear moves every 3. Now, do we have a teddy bear? No, we don't have a teddy bear because we never took our prototype and put an instance actor in. So we have to go back, and looking back at our scene, we have a teddy bear, but we never dragged it in the game. Now, if we run it, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Great. So our timing is right. That gives us 10 points. That gives us 5 points. We can't see back there, but that's 15. And then this should take away 5 points. Yep, teddy bear squeak noise takes away 5 points. And this is to show you that your score can go to 0, and your score, if I can grab it, your score can even go negative. I'm going to get back in the positive there before we leave. But that's lions, tigers, and bears moving at random, and each one has a different scoring mechanism built in, and each one moving at a different random speed. Up next, what if we wanted to include some kind of penalty for missing? And let's say that if you hit the background, we want to take away 1 point. So if I were just going like this all day long, I would not want to reward the user for accidentally clicking on something that happened to move under the cursor. So let's look at what we need to do to take away a point every time the background is tapped when there's not an actor underneath. So if I go back to the game scene, it would make sense that I'm going to look at the background actor and change the background actor's behavior and just use a change attribute behavior. But when? That has to go inside some kind of rule. So the rule is when the touch event happens, what we're going to do is to update the game's score to the game's score -1. So what we would expect to happen is if I were to click the background, I'd get a -1, and I did. But what if I were to start this game over and click on, say, the tiger? The tiger should give us 5 points, but the tiger only gave us 4 points. And the reason the tiger only gave us 4 points is because, as I said earlier, both of those actors are responding to the touch event. So we're only getting 4 points because we added 5 for the tiger, but we took away 1 for the background. So there's a couple of different ways we can handle this, but the most simple one for right now is to actually give 1 too many points, knowing that the background is going to take 1 away. That's kind of cheating, but that's what we're going to do at this level because this is an early game for us. So back to this, back to our actors list, and let's change the lion. We know that the lion is going to give us 10 points, and we're going to have 1 taken away, so let's pad in an 11th point. We know that the tiger should give us 5 points, and so we're going to make it give us 6 points, and we know that 1's going to be taken away. And we know that the teddy bear should take away 5 points. Well, let's make it only take away 4 points because it's going to take an additional point away because of the background. Now, if we play this game, when I hit the background, I get -1. I'm going to go ahead and -5 up. If I hit the teddy bear, that should put us at -10. Yep, and if I hit the lion, that should put us back at 0. And if I hit the tiger, tiger should put us at 5. And it does. Those are some terrible sounds. They're all free, though. One more. I want to make sort of a funny sound in the background, like a boing, 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 if I hit the wall. And I do that by changing behaviors. And the behavior I'm going to change is on the background. So let's open that actor up. So when I touch it, not only do I want to take away a point, I also want to play a sound. Play sound is right over here. What sound do I want to play? I want to play the cartoon hop, and that's a sound that sounds like this. Right. But what am I hearing? I'm hearing the boing sound in addition to all of these sounds that are also happening for the actors. So there's going to have to be a better way to handle that situation where the touch is interpreted by all the actors. For now, I'm going to leave that as a cliffhanger. You have a game that works, kind of. We're going to take out that sound for the final version. We're going to take out the boing sound, but I want you to know that our temporary fix by giving 1 too many points is not the final answer on this. Why don't you see what you can do by changing the graphics, by changing the sounds, and by changing the points and the times. As a bonus round, like I mentioned, you might want to do a countdown where you have a certain amount of time. You could use an additional actor to show time. You could deduct 1 point per second from the score, by telling the score itself to have a trigger every 1 second to deduct a point. And you can make a game over screen. So tons of extensions you can do on this. Going to give you a little bit of time to work on it, and I'm excited to see what you get.